I'm Amanda Kuhl for Fox 56 Sports, and welcome to the Rivalry of the Week pregame report. We hit the hardwood for high school basketball tonight as we head to the Lackawanna League for a Division III matchup between Old Forge and Mid-Valley. Mid-Valley is ranked 4th in the state in Class AA. The Spartans are coming off a 25-win season last year, and they've picked up right where they left off as District II champions. These guys are off to the best start in school history. On the other hand, Old Forge has managed to surprise a few teams after losing their best player, Joey Gutowski, to a football injury this fall. The Blue Devils are the District II Class A defending champions. However, they do need a win tonight to stay in contention for a division title. That'll do it for tonight's pregame show. See you at halftime for a rundown of this week's college games on MyTV. Enjoy the game, guys.
Old Forge is the smallest team in one of the toughest divisions in the Lackawanna League. The Blue Devils know what it takes each night to come out with a win.
But we'll slow it down. We'll work hard on defensively. We're a big defensive team. If we don't get the stops and if we don't do our job defensively, then we're not going to win basketball games. But that's what we stress every single day, and the kids come and play every single night.
Mid-Valley has all of the credentials of a top-tier team, but the Spartans cannot overlook anyone when it comes to putting up a W.
Night in and night out, you cannot afford a letdown. You have to bring the energy and game plan and scout. You got to really give it your all every night.
It's Old Forge and Mid-Valley. Next.
Tasker's back in, and he comes right in and pop shot, got it. My man, you can't miss.
Finding the hole, I don't know how, but it's his night.
Fox 56 Sports presents the Rivalry of the Week on MyTV WQMY.
Comes out of the locker room in Fuego. He's on fire.
Inside the gymnasium at Mid-Valley High School, a raucous crowd is expected as they expect to see if their team will continue their winning ways as they battle the Old Forge Blue Devils. Good evening, everyone. I'm Bob Ide, joined courtside tonight by my partner, John Mendola from the Fox 56 Sports Show. And John, let's talk about this division of the Lackawanna League Division III. A lot of parity this year, so Old Forge could pull off the upset tonight, but they'll need a big game from Nick Pelosi.
Well, they will. Nick Pelosi scoring for them 19.8 points per game. Could really shoot the three. He's got 28 trays this year, so they need a big game from that senior to help lead the Blue Devils.
Spartans like to run up and down the court, and they're led by Noah Tanner.
Noah's averaging 13.5 points per game. He dishes out assists, got 54 of those. He could shoot some threes as well. He's undersized, but he's a big part of the Spartans.
Well, we had a chance to talk to both coaches this week, and John, they gave you some keys to the game.
Well, for Old Forge, they're going to need to rebound first thing against a Mid-Valley team that's pretty active, defend the dribble, and then prevent some scoring runs. In the meantime, for Mid-Valley, solid defense, rebounding, and try to limit some of those turnovers.
It's the first meeting between the Spartans and the Blue Devils this season. We'll have the opening lineup and the tip on the way.
This is a Fox 56 Sports presentation on MyTV WQMY.
We are back in troop, getting ready for tonight's Lackawanna League Division III matchup between Old Forge and Mid-Valley. Now your starting lineups first for the Blue Devils, 6-4 coming in. Salavanti, Gurkowski will be the forwards in the center. The guards are Smith, Pelosi, and Parker. For Mid-Valley, 11-0 coming in. It looks like this. Another guard-oriented team. Forward, Gouldsboro, Crisafulli having a nice year. Tanner, Kalinowski, and Glinsky will round out the starting five. We're underway, getting set to get underway here. Very patient crowd awaiting us. The JV game ended much earlier than we had anticipated, so these two teams have been warming up for about 25 minutes or so. So this is Noah Tanner, who will control the opening tip.
Tanner played with a lot of emotion last year. A year older, a little more experience, real basketball junkie.
Mid-Valley had to replace 4 starters from a team that went very deep in the state playoffs, but they picked up, John, right where they left off. So this is Parker for Old Forge, the 5'9" senior. He gives it off to Pelosi.
I got to see Pelosi play the last couple years. Real crafty player.
You would think Old Forge has to control the tempo of this game.
Yeah, they're going to have to find a way. I mean, they're undersized by a long stretch. But Mid-Valley's not much bigger, but Mid-Valley's just had to find a way to win all year long with 11-0. So they've done a great job, and they've picked up some offense.
Shot by Kalinowski off the mark. Here comes Pelosi. Looking for Grokowski inside. Said Salavanti. First shot is no good. So saw Mondo on the football field just weeks ago, maybe a month ago. Now we see him back in a basketball uniform. Looks, as you might expect, like a linebacker out there, John.
Oh, yeah. He'll hit the ground, find some loose balls. Really had a tremendous season as a football player, and he came right back and played like a day or two later when the basketball season came around.
Well, one of the football themes that we talked about was Joey Gutowski. Of course, he got injured in a football game, a state playoff game. We had that game live. First shot, Pelosi hits a three, is good. He's a big part of this basketball team. He's out for the season, so some of these guys had to pick up some slack.
Yeah, Pelosi's one of those guys. He could get hot. He could drive inside. Just got great court awareness. Again, averaging nearly 20 a game. He's the leader of this Old Forge team.
Bunch of role players last year for Old Forge who picked up the slack. And we have our first foul of the night. Goes against Shane Smith, his first team. So going to the line will be 6-foot junior R.J. Goulsbury. He shoots about 62% on the free throw line. For Mid-Valley too, John, replacing 4 starters. So a lot of these guys are role players on that very good team, but again, they've picked up their game.
There's Tanner.
Tanner, long rebound, and it goes off of going to stay in Mid-Valley, saying off of Shane Smith's foot. Oh, change that as the officials confer. Our officials tonight, Bill Gross, Ray Boynton, and Jake Johnson. So this is Pelosi. 29 threes now this season after that one. Taken away by Tanner. Goes in, no foul. First field goal of the game, and we're tied at 3.
Old Forge going to a simple offensive set there, and then it was Tanner, anticipation, steal, and made it happen.
Grokowski's not really a post-up type player. He can hit the 10-foot jumper. So see if they get it to him. They'll run. Kalinowski. Tanner on the run. He lays it up and in. 2 in a row for Noah Tanner.
Oh, that pass got a little deep in there, but he was able to finish Tanner as Kalinowski put it right on his fingertips, able to go right up.
Knocked out of bounds. So Jared Horn, also banged up during football season and sat out a couple of games. First game back was last week for Old Forge. So he checks in. Marquee matchup down low. Crisafulli gets the best of that. But Horn right there battling, puts it back.
Yeah, Jared Horn's a very good athlete. You know, he comes over from that football program. They could ask him to play anywhere on the football field. I think it's kind of similar to the basketball court. You may see him inside, outside, has some athleticism to him.
His first 2 points of the season. We're already a month in. So we're tied at 5 here in Mid-Valley. Mike Abbott calls out the play. 6th-year coach for the Spartans. Nobody guarded Goulsbury, and he put the left-handed layup. His first field goal of the night.
Again, Mid-Valley with that 11-0 record. Waiting for a team to knock him off, but Mike Abbott pretty pleased with what he's got. As you mentioned, Bob, replacing all those starters.
Pelosi, guarded Parker, long range. Back of the rim, no good. Salavanti, big rebound. But quick hands by Kalinowski. Kanahowski, Crisafulli, up and in.
Roman Crisafulli, he's happy to have that increased role this year for the Mid-Valley Spartans. He's the big dog this year. He wants to go on and play some college basketball. Not sure where yet, but maybe we'll find him at one of the local schools.
Bukowski can shoot from out there. Goldsboro's going to call a timeout, and we should be able to get our first timeout of the night. 3:01 remaining in the first quarter. Spartans have a 4-point lead. We are back at Mid-Valley. The Spartans, a 4-point lead, 3:01 remaining. Marquee matchup, John, we already saw some of it already. Crisafulli and Grukowski down low.
Yeah, well, see how it goes. I mean, you mentioned that down low for Grukowski, he's not necessarily a post-up guy, can move around a little bit. Crisafulli seems pretty darn active. He got the better of him so far early defensively, and we'll see if they try to post him up and still maybe try to get Crisafulli in foul trouble even.
Crisafulli can run the court for a big guy, and that's a big asset for a team that likes to sprint up and down like this. Kalinowski thought about it. J.J. Galinsky, number 10, Gouldsbury. Crisafulli can hit that little jumper. He does.
Roman had to develop a little bit more offense this year. You know, Kenny graduating. He's been like the rookie of the week a couple times at the Freedom Conference for Misericordia University. So Crisafulli now working on that offense. I'm sure with Coach Mike Abdick, he's built a nice program here.
Horn getting back into basketball shape. Just scored his first 2 of the season. Grukowski, Crisafulli. No shot clock in high school. So Old Forge is set it up again. The crowd applauding the defense. Pelosi chucks one up, but a big offensive rebound by Parker.
Crisafulli right now just playing some great D down low.
Double team Krakowski, no good. And Valley will run off the rebound. Good job on the defensive side from Old Forge. Horn, big rebound again. Jarrett Yanello, his 3rd season as the Mid-Valley coach, calls out the play. Good player in his own right. And we're going to have a travel call on Parker. So there is Noah Tanner, 13 points per game. And there's the big crowd on hand here in Spartan territory. Their team looking to start 12-0. Travel on Gouldsbury. You like the defense so far from Old Forge?
Well, they're playing the best they could. They're trailing by 6 right now, trying to be as active as they could. But I think Mid-Valley right now just playing a little better. And on top of that, Old Forge's offense they just can't seem to get in any sync. You know, you got Pelosi who can score, but I don't know if there's anybody else right now that they could get points out of.
That's a big move underneath by Grukowski. He's going to go to the free throw line. First foul on Crisafulli, so we'll have to keep an eye on that.
Well, they've tried to go to him about 4 times now, Bob. This is the first time he's able to at least get to the charity stripe. The other times, it's been all Crisafulli with blocks and tips and short shots for Old Forge.
45th free throw on the season is good. He shoots 71.8%. Put up a big 32 on MMI, his high for the season. Salavante in there quickly, and it's going to stay Old Forge ball. Hustle by the Blue Devils. The 2 football players showing how they hustle. Mike Abden didn't like the call.
Mike's a passionate guy.
Yeah.
There's no doubt about it.
I actually think the call was right. Good defense by Chris Foley. Spartans look to run, but Old Forge is back. Waiting for the last shot of the quarter. Spartans up 5. Linsky, long range in and out. Horn a big rebound. And he almost puts in the 3-quarter length shot. But that will do it for quarter number 1. It's the Spartans of Mid-Valley looking to go to 12-0, who have a 5-point lead over Old Forge.
This is a Fox 56 sports presentation on MyTV WQMY.
A Mid-Valley rowdy crowd on hand, as expected. The student section dressed in black tonight, John, the blackout here in Spartan territory. Their team ahead 11-6 after the first quarter. Your impressions on the first?
Well, I think Jared Horn has helped put a little energy and some athleticism in Old Forge, even though they're trailing this basketball game by 5. In the meantime, I think you're getting what you thought you get out of Mid-Valley. Good defense, some hustle, and Roman Christofoli's going to finish. Looked like he was going to finish another one. He finished one earlier. Tough play out of him right now. But, you know, overall, I think Old Forge has to really establish that offense. Pelosi, he got a couple shots, only made one of them.
Pelosi made the opening 3 of the game, and that's all he has so far. Old Forge led 3-0. That was their only lead of the game. Parker, the senior, averaging 2.5 points, will set it up.
Mid-Valley just not allowing anything easy. They're making you work for everything.
The opening for Gurkowski, forces away in, but Christofoli another block. Coaching staff from Old Forge thought Kalinowski went out, and maybe he did, but not called.
Coach's view, I think, blocked it.
It was something. It was right there. Christofoli gets his own rebound. He's got 6 now.
I'm just so impressed. You know, back maybe when we were kids, there used to be a coach and an assistant coach. Now people have 5 coaches on the bench, 4 coaches on the bench. There's a lot of different coaches that just want to be a part of some high school basketball.
Gurkowski uses his muscles, gets it up. His first field goal. He has 3 now.
Well, he's tried a couple different moves, and that one worked there. But Christofoli has really done a nice job of defending him. Good job of Gurkowski just trying to change some stuff up and staying with it.
Old Forge now goes in, looks like a 3-2 type zone. Tanner finds an opening. He gets it in. He has 6 now, does the junior. Old Forge still sticking around. They have to match the baskets, though. Christofoli, good defense. Here comes Kalinowski. Puts it through and lays it up and in.
Spartans just taking the ball to the rack and able to finish right now. And the Old Forge Blue Devils have to find a way to stop them. You see the slicing of the defense right there, and then the finish as Kalinowski gets that one to go.
Again, one of those role players from a year ago. He's come in now. He's averaging 11.8 points per game. 4 rebounds, 3 assists. He does have 11-3, so everything's kind of blending together and coming what maybe Mike Abda maybe didn't think at the beginning of the year. But ranked number 4 now in the state in Class AA. Yeah. City of Basketball and Penn Live both have him at number 4 in Class AA.
That's surprising.
I think that goes to last year. I mean, that's how they rate things right now.
I think that goes to what we were talking about earlier. Mike has just built such a program.
Yep.
But surprised that they're that highly ranked in AA.
Scranton Prep is number 6 in the state in AAA. Kowski can hit those out there. Great box out by Tanner. He is quick. Finds Galinsky in the corner. Chris Foley, big rebound.
Very impressed with Chris Foley. He's had some plays get called his way defensively. They haven't called a whole lot of ticky-tack stuff down low. He has a foul, but there's probably 3 or 4 other physical plays that they said, hey, we're just letting them play.
Just 2 fouls in the game, 1 on each team, and we're already a quarter plus in.
Yeah, you got to like the flow right now. It's not a whole lot of fouls being called, but Old Forge right now really has to just dig a little deeper on the offensive end.
Pelosi, nice job. Gorkowski, big rebound, he puts it back.
That was one of those street yard rebounds you get. You're playing at a park, you're playing in your backyard, you grab something, you go in and you throw it up. So great work from him. We're seeing a little bit more out of him, and he seems to be the offense. And get Pelosi a couple more looks. Maybe that'll loosen things up for Nick.
Mid-Valley has had some open shots. They have not fallen. Kalinowski baseline. He gets that to go. So 9-point lead now for Mid-Valley. And this one's starting to settle in what maybe we had thought coming in. Pelosi long range. Looks good from here, and it is. His second 3 of the game, Nick Pelosi, his 49th. Excuse me, his 30th of the season.
Bob, you start talking about what he could do. He shoots 50% from three-point land. I mean, that's tremendous. 28 of 56 this year. He's hit 2 already today. Little couple more looks out of Pelosi. Get Grahowski going. Try to get Chris Foley in foul trouble if you're Old Forge right now. That'll change the dynamics right now, what they could do down low.
Pelosi now looking, kind of feels it out there. He chucks up another one, and that's good. No foul call. They're going to call the 2, though. A 2 in a row for Nick Pelosi.
And he could get streaky. Seen him in games before, hits 3 or 4, cool off a little bit. But, boy, you ride the hot hand when you could, especially when you're down a bunch. Now you're within 4.
Aaron Poland in the game for Mid-Valley, number 21. Five in a row now for Old Forge. And we'll take a TV timeout. 2:42 remaining in the half. Old Forge sticking around. They've cut the Spartan lead to 4. Not to be outdone, some Blue Devils fans here. And I think I saw the principal in there. Chris Thomas is in there, the principal for Old Forge. With the kids, there's Jarrett Yanello. 29 wins, 30 losses for him. 3 years. He had a good career, I remember, at Old Forge, if I remember right.
Yep.
Hey, why not? Got to be represented, right?
Chris Thomas getting involved right now.
5 in a row for Old Forge, sticking around.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like they're getting the Pelosi, getting Grachowski going right now. And, of course, Jared Horn, I think, helps with some of the things that he's doing overall. Armando Salavanti trying to do what he could defensively. Mid-Valley is going to score some points. So try to keep him in check the best they could. Chris Foley calling for it. Got a big size advantage over Salavanti.
Still a 3-2 zone for Old Forge. Salavanti is matching up against Crisafoli, as John just mentioned. Horn, it's a push. As James Ursel, number 2, lost the ball, the junior, but Horn almost tackled him.
You still take it, though, if you're Old Forge. Right now, you need a little bit of physical style. Horn's very athletic.
Yep.
I mean, he'll dip the shoulder like he did, but that's okay.
You might get the call, you might not. You don't know.
Hey, they'll keep doing it. They get a steal. They'll take 4 or 6 points out of Jared Horn tonight. That could be big.
And good defense. Galinsky thought about it, didn't have the handle. That was the second foul only on Old Forge. One for Mid-Valley, so not many stoppages in this game for fouls. Tanner's going to be called for a travel. A little quick with the feet. And now Old Forge can cut this lead down to 1 if they get a 3. 13-6 after the first quarter. Mid-Valley led. The lead now to 4 for Mid-Valley. And we're 90 seconds away from the end of the first half. Pelosi is 8. What a dish to Horn. Lays it up and in.
Well, they tried the pick and roll over there with Krachowski, but as Pelosi drove in, Horn did an excellent cut, and that's what you're getting out of Jared Horn right now, that little extra athleticism to go finish it.
7-0 run is stopped by Crisafulli. Crisafulli with 8. Horn with 4, and he's giving you those big minutes. Under a minute to play here in Spartan country. And it will remain Blue Devil ball out of bounds. Old Forge started the season 4-0. And now 6-4 on the year. Beat Lakeland last week 49-45. Then lost to Carbondale, and there's a travel on Pelosi. Lost to Dunmore last Friday, 54-39.
I think on Mid-Valley's end, you'd like to see maybe a little more out of Noah Tanner. He's giving you a little bit of stuff over here for Mid-Valley. I think you'd like to see him either distribute the ball a little bit more, try to take a couple more shots. Very capable of Noah Tanner.
Tanner, Mike Abda, content to just roll out the last 30 seconds of the half. His team up 4, trying to extend that to 6 or 7 before the break. So the time has come now, the run to play. Pelosi steps in, gets down, and he gets the foul. Nick Pelosi saw the trailer coming and Kalinowski and kind of slowed up a bit, got the big hoop in the arm.
Talked about him being a key to this basketball game for the Blue Devils. Got some quickness and got some touch with his outside shot. Just missed that free throw, though.
So a 9-2 run for the Blue Devils to end the second quarter, and they've cut the Spartan lead to 2 as we head to the half.
This is a Fox 56 sports presentation on MyTV WQMY.
Welcome to the Rivalry of the Week Halftime Report. I'm Amanda Kuhl. Basketball season started on a down note for the Wyoming Seminary girls team, and Aaron Dugan has the story.
It was a tough start to the season for the Wyoming Seminary girls basketball team. Left without a head coach coming into the season, SEM hired Marty Merzinski, a longtime head coach for Penn State Hazelton's basketball and softball programs. The girls took to Marty and were excited to get the season started. But Marty unexpectedly passed away 2 weeks before the first game. The Blue Knights were devastated. On just the night before their first game, Abby Rodway was hired to take over.
It was really rough. They loved Marty. They loved him a lot, where, I had those shoes to fill coming in. So the first game I actually coached was his funeral. So it was a tough transition. They were upset, but they came out, I think, and they played for him really hard.
All our team, we all, like, everyone made signs and stuff, and we put it in our little, like, locker room. And before every game, we, like, hit the sign and stuff. And we just, like, I don't know, we came together as a team, and, you know, we talked about it and stuff. And, like, we went to the funeral, and it was sad, but, you know, we play, like, every game for him, and we have, like, his initials on our shirts. So it's really good to have a coach like Abby, too. So we're glad we got to have two good coaches.
We have a kind of saying for Marty. We start every practice with that, and then we end every practice with that. Same thing for games. And on our shooting shirts, we have a little insignia with his initials on it. And so it kind of, it was definitely a rough time when it first happened, but I think we came together more because of it, and we're sort of using him, and we think he's like really with us this season, and so we're trying to use this season to do what we can to honor him and what he would have wanted us to be and saw us as, which is a great basketball team.
Marty saw them as a good basketball team, and they proved that. With a 5-3 record, Coach Rodway is very confident in the skills of this group.
The girls and I are both adapting pretty well. Right now our record's 5-3, so we're winning a lot more than losing, so that's a good thing. They're really hard workers, and they don't know the potential that they have, so the harder they work, the better this team will get.
Rodway graduated from Valley View, where she was a captain, and then went on to play at Lackawanna College and get a minor in coaching from Westchester. She brings a lot of passion to practices and games, and her love of the sport of basketball isn't something that goes unnoticed by the girls.
I was a basketball player my whole life, so I just had passion for the game, and I wanted to actually just give my passion to other players so they can play just as hard as I did.
Oh, it inspires us. She's really very passionate about the sport, and she's passionate about making us better. When we're down, she knows when to call a timeout and to just tell everybody to calm down, get it together, focus, mesh together as a team, and she's really working very hard at making sure that we're all functioning as a unit.
Miranda is our senior, and she is truthfully the glue that holds this team together. She is a real down-to-earth girl and very respectful, and she's a leader, and that's why she's chosen our captain. She's a really nice girl, and she's a good basketball player as well.
We've definitely had some like ups and downs with coaching and finding new ways to play as a team, and some new girls and new chemistry on the team. We lost 4 seniors last year, so that was a big adjustment. But we're definitely, I feel, coming together as a team more than we have been in the past because we went through so much now. So the chemistry is really there, and we're starting to see each other, feel how each other play, and as the season progresses, I think we'll really get more together as a team and learn how to play as a team.
Thanks, Erin. WQMY is your place for college basketball this season. Tomorrow, it's an ACC showdown between Georgia Tech and Notre Dame starting at 9 p.m. The Irish are coming off a tough loss to the Pitt Panthers, and Georgia Tech upset number 4 Virginia this past weekend. Should be a great game tomorrow night. On Saturday, ACC action returns as Syracuse takes on Wake Forest at noon. Then at 2, William and Mary take on North Carolina Wilmington in a Colonial Athletic Association matchup. That's going to do it for this halftime report. I'm Amanda Kuhl. Thanks for joining me tonight. After this break, it's back to high school hoops.
Welcome back to Mid-Valley High School, everyone. Halftime score 21-19, the Spartans over the Blue Devils. Bob-eyed John Mendola courtside, enjoying a very flowing type game, and one that saw Old Forge go on a 9-2 run to end the half.
Yeah, they had a nice streak to them, Old Forge, and they have to get that offense moving. They've been led by Nick Pelosi, who's been able to knock down a jumper in the beginning of the game, and then he got hot towards that end of the second quarter, dished over here to Jared Horn, able to finish on that one. Then a huge steal here with just a few seconds on the clock, so that was big. Got him that extra shot. And now for Mid-Valley, Kalinowski gets it to Roman Crisafulli. Crisafulli, bigger player, nice foul shot right there from the free throw line. Crisafulli working it on the inside, able to get his own rebound, pad his stats a little bit, and finish a few.
So Crisafulli has 8. Pelosi has 10. Really not much scoring from anyone else. Grahowski has 5. Jared Horn has 4. That completes the scoring for Old Forge. For Mid-Valley, Foley has 8, as I said. Goldsberger has 3, Kalinowski 4, and 6 for Noah Tanner. And that's where we are, 21-19 at the half, Mid-Valley ball to begin the third quarter. Mike Abda, John, took a long time talking to his team. They only came out with less than a minute left. He must have had some strong words for them. Well, that's a big one. Kalinowski from downtown.
Well, when I saw him come over to the table right before halftime, he was not happy. He was shaking his head, looking at some of the stats, talking to some of his assistant coaches. So I'm sure it was a fired-up speech from Abda.
12-3 for Kalinowski on the season. Here's Horn. Stripped away from Foley. Here come the Spartans. Swinging out to the top. Little jumper. Got it. Kalinowski now has 5. Quick timeout call by Old Forge and Jared Iodello.
Kalinowski doesn't get as much credit as he deserves. You could tell, last year that he showed some offensive signs as he was a role player, and now this year, some more offensive stuff coming out of him as Kalinowski able to steal the basketball, get some points here going for the Mid-Valley Spartans. He's averaging about 12 points a game, but he's a kid that could go off in a few games. At 19 against Valley View, 15 against Riverside. Free throws got to work on a little bit, but not bad from three-point land either this year, about 34%.
Here are the standings currently in Division III. Games going on all over the place tonight. Mid-Valley on top. Dunmore playing well. Mid-Valley already has a win over them in the first half. Then you have Riverside, Holy Cross, Carbondale, Old Forge, Lakeland. And we talked about the parity. Really, anybody can beat anybody on a given night.
Yeah, all the coaches you talk to, they all say the same thing, and that old cliche, but you know what? It really is true. Dunmore has a big guy in John Williams and some athletes on their team. Holy Cross, the trainer kid got banged up a little bit, but they do have some talent back. Alcalaeus does a great job every year. And then you throw in, Riverside, I think, is that kind of that dark horse that people aren't talking about. They really have a lot of talent. If they could put it all together and get some wins, they could be a team in the playoffs.
Pelosi's in. This is the layup. Spartans have some numbers if they want it. A little hop by Kalinowski, no good. So a 5-0 run by the Spartans to begin the third quarter has them up 7 right now.
Kalinowski seems like he's trying to quote-unquote take over that offensive role for Mid-Valley. If he would have finished on that one, it would have been pretty big with the way they started here this half. But he has that ability, I think, to get streaky right now for the Spartans.
Chowski, no good. In the corner, Galinsky. Tanner open in the other corner if they find him. The Parker right there on defense. So they'll set it up. These two teams met last year, Mid-Valley winning both of them. The closest was the second one, just a 7-point victory by Mid-Valley down at Old Forge. Kalinowski's on fire coming out of the locker room.
Well, you saw it in his eyes, the way he's come out. And right now, it seems like this could be something that you'll see more offense out of Kalinowski the remainder of the season. He just looks very focused. The confidence is going up.
12 now for Kalinowski. 6 in this corner. And here come the Spartans again, up 10. Foul in midcourt, probably a wise one at that. Now a couple words from Horn and Tanner. So Horn is second foul. And here's Kalinowski coming out of the locker room, John.
He feels good. Got the looks. Confidence just beaming right now from Kalinowski. Little delay on that pass, and you got Foley right in the middle. So a little fake, a little half-second delay on what you're thinking of doing, and get it to Roman. He's got the matchup there.
The game against Dunmore, I saw, Mid-Valley got their running game going, and then extended their lead. Old Forge doing a nice job cutting down the fast break points tonight. But Linsky in the paint gets 2.
Pelosi draws a little contact there, Bob.
This is exactly what Jared Iannello talked about. Doesn't want the runs. Got to slow them down, prevent the runs by Mid-Valley. That's exactly what the Spartans are on right now. 10 in a row coming out on the break. No points so far for Old Forge in this quarter. And it will remain Blue Devil ball.
Got to get some other guys involved here in the offense for Old Forge. You're able to do that in that second quarter, get a little bit of a run. Let's see what they can do with Pelosi.
Pelosi working hard, couldn't get it to go. He'll go to the line to shoot 2.
Pelosi working it, able to elevate, keep his body in the air for a little bit before Chris Foley came over.
2 more now for Pelosi, who has 12 in the game. Old Forge in a 2-3 zone now, as Brandon Nee, number 4, is in to the game. Short by Kalinowski, but Chris Foley is there once again. Pelosi back of the rim. Big rebound by Salavante. Let a turnover. Tanner running. Fouled. We can take it. First one missed by Tanner. Second one is good. And we have a timeout on the floor. 3:45 remaining. The Spartans have come out on fire. They have a 13-point lead over the Blue Devils.
This is a Fox 56 sports presentation on MyTV WQMY.
This Sunday is the NFC Divisional Round. Watch as the Seahawks seek a 3rd straight NFC Championship appearance, while Carolina looks for their first NFC this Sunday at noon, only on Fox 56.
So a 13-2 run by Mid-Valley to begin the 3rd quarter, and that's where we stand right now, 34-21 in Troop. Bob-eyed John Mendola courtside. Spartans looking to go 12-0, John, on the year.
Well, they're trying to see if they can get some offense. Brandon Nee into the ball game.
Brandon Davies into the game, and he gets his first field goal. He adds to the run. And now we'll foul on the floor. Looks like on Noah Tanner. So Tanner picks up his first foul. We have 5 now between 2 teams. 3 for Mid-Valley, 2 for Old Forge.
Can't be that much to complain about. There's just been a little bit of foul so far tonight called.
Blue Devils need to get people going. And I think the referees now are going to check to see if that was a double dribble. I think that's what, well, I thought it was a double dribble. Or was it knocked out of his hands?
They said it was knocked out of his hands. That's what I thought. And then he regained it, and then he dribbled again. But they're going for the explanation here just to double check, and now it'll stay Old Forge basketball.
What do they have to do now to creep back into it?
Got to get somebody going right now offensively. I think it starts with Pelosi.
Horn some big minutes. He's fouled. He'll go to the line, it looks like. They're going to give the foul to Davies. His first. So Horn goes to the line. His first 2 free throws of the season. He has 4. That looked good to me.
Horn's kind of that X factor we talked about in the first half, I think, for Old Forge. You know, plays with a lot of emotion. If he can keep those in check and score a few points, even banks for free throws, you'll take it right now for the Blue Devils.
I think it has to start here on the defensive side. That 3-2 zone kind of worked, and they go back into it right now. It was successful in the first half.
Mid-Valley's got to find Chris Foley. He's open. Now they forced that one. He's been open at times, and they keep missing him.
Tanner with the strip to the hole. Good defense by Salavanti. Here comes the Blue Devils. Horn straight in. He's fouled. He was out of position, and not a very good foul there, but Old Forge will take it.
I think Horn be the first guy to say, hey, I'm not a basketball guy, but you know what? I'll draw a couple fouls. I'll get to the free throw line. I'll scrap on the floor. You know, and that's what you need right now if you're Old Forge, just to try to, you know, chip away, creep back in, however you want to call it.
So another one from Horn. He's 3 for 3 on the night. Joey Varespi, a sophomore, number 23, checks in for Old Forge now.
Well, Mike Abden not happy right now because, you know, his team started out so well in the corner. Now he feels like Old Forge is trying to get back into it, and he doesn't want that.
Well, cut the lead to 11 now. Jared Horn with 4 in a row now, all from the free throw line.
And if right now for Mid-Valley, who stopped shooting but Kalinowski? Got to get him the ball.
Shot hasn't looked right the last 2, kind of flat. Here's Pelosi. Varespi says, I'll take my first shot off the bench and an air ball. Goldsberry running the floor, gets the foul. RJ Payson down the court, John. He was rewarded. He'll go to the line.
Well, I don't know how rewarded he feels. He got a face rake from Armando Salavanti, but you're right, getting over to that free throw line and trying to get a couple more in. Salavanti ended up asking him, hey, you okay, bud? And Armando's a hard-hitting linebacker. I don't think he has too many people if they're okay.
Yeah. Armando's first, 13th foul on Old Forge. Mid-Valley has 5 on their side. Goldsberry's going to be called. He's going to get another free throw as we had an Old Forge player in the lane too quick. 62% free throw shooter is the junior. Chris Foley, a big rebound.
Boy, that second chance, that stings a little bit. If you're Old Forge, you're thinking, okay, we're making some headway. And now Mike Abda says he wants a timeout.
Not too early to talk districts, John. Early on in the season, league play, Montrose is up top in Division 4 of the Lackawanna League. And then you have Mid-Valley right there. Myers playing excellent ball. Elk Lake will see them in 2 weeks. They're undefeated in league play. And there you go, the rest of the list right now, early on.
Yeah, and, you know, Montrose always keeps people guessing, hey, how good are the Meteors? Well, right now they're playing pretty good in their division. So, you know, the Meteors fighting away and trying to see what they can do for their second-year coach.
They're playing Dunmore tonight, so we'll get a good gauge on how good they really are.
Well, Myers had a tough exhibition schedule, you know, fighting some injuries, different things. So they got Wyoming Seminary. Wyoming Seminary has the Ganter kids down. So, yeah, there's been a lot of injuries this year in the basketball season. Everybody kind of battling through that. Mid-Valley, a lot of things have gone right this year for them, and 11-0 shows it.
Spartans coming off a big win over Riverside by 15 last week. Before that, they beat Blue Ridge by 3. Crisafulli open down low. They didn't get in the ball.
Yeah, and Kalinowski, the skip pass, and he's lurking a little bit over on this side.
Kalinowski got it. Another 3. Brad Kalinowski, his 3rd of this half from downtown.
Yeah, you can't leave him open. I know, hey, he missed 1 or 2, but he's a streaky guy. He hit that one, and he's got some points. Now, Kalinowski looks like something up with his knee. I'm not sure if he took a bad step or what, but he's over there. You can tell he's in a little bit of pain, so I'm not sure what happened to Brad, but I think Coach Abda's going to try to see what's going on with Brad.
So Gruchowski comes back in for Old Forge, as does J.J. Glinski from Mid-Valley, number 10. Biggest lead of the night so far from the Spartans. All started right out of the locker room as they went on a 10-0 run. And we're going to foul underneath against Crisafulli. And he says, me?
Good call. That was a good call. What he ended up doing was he moved his feet. And then once he moved his feet to the spot he needed to be, he used his hands and pushed Gruchowski. And then that's what the ref saw. He was right there on him. And he goes, I didn't do that, did I?
Well, break for Old Forge now. We're a minute left in the 3rd, and they're going to be shooting free throws the rest of the night. That's the 7th foul on Mid-Valley. Just 3 on Old Forge.
And Horn hit his, all 4 of his, banked them in, rimmed them in. And there's Jared Horn with a rebound. That was a nice job for the football guy.
They need to convert this, though, after they get a big rebound. Set up the play.
Last time they went into this offense, they had a steal.
Oh, nice job by Pelosi. Up and under. They find Crisafulli. He lays it in.
That's more of the offense I think you need Mid-Valley. Tanner has the ability to penetrate and dish. And a guy like Crisafulli hanging around that basket, he ain't going to miss many of those.
Knocked out of bounds will stay Blue Devil ball. 17 seconds remaining in the 3rd quarter. Coach Chinello wanted a foul. Didn't get it. So Brandon Nee will take it out for Old Forge. See if Pelosi wants to take Galinsky off the dribble. Does. Crossover. Knocked out of bounds. It will stay Blue Devil ball. No, they're going to say it's off Old Forge.
Coach Anello saying, come on. And just about 7 seconds there on the clock. And now it is going to stay Old Forge basketball.
Bill Gross, Ray Boynton, and Jake Johnson are referees tonight. They confer, and with 6.9, call it 7 seconds, Old Forge has a chance.
I think you got to try to get Pelosi for a 3 look here.
They get it out to Gruchowski. This is not backcourt. He still has time. Knocked out of bounds by Tanner.
They didn't even try to get it to Pelosi's end. Now he's going to inbound the ball, so maybe a quick pass and then a throwback to him.
Got it, John. Just short on the 3, and that will do it. So a huge 3rd quarter by the Spartans has extended their lead now up to 15 as we head for quarter number 4.
This is Mid-Valley.
This is Mid-Valley. It's Mid-Valley.
This is Mid-Valley.
This is Mid-Valley. Mid-Valley. All of this is Mid-Valley.
Happy bunch of students. Their team up by 15 over the Blue Devils. And I don't know, John, if they can get any more rowdier.
It's pretty good. They're feeling it right now with their Spartans. You got to like keeping the themes going all year long when your basketball team is playing so good. And, you know, that's one thing I talked to Roman Crisafulli last night and said, you know, it seems as if the basketball crazies have really ignited the athletic programs here at Mid-Valley. I think Mike Abda has a lot to do with that. It really brought out a lot of school pride.
Old Forge coming in, averaging 53 points per game. They have 27 on the board now. Horn with the steal. Wisely holds it up, finds Gurchowski, and he'll be fouled underneath. And they're going to call it on Crisafulli, and that will be his third. I believe they will. Yep. So Gurchowski will go to the line to shoot 1 and 1.
You highlighted that earlier, Bob. If you could hit your free throws for Old Forge, you have an opportunity to stay in this. It looks right now, hey, 15-point lead, we got this, but you hit some of those free throws, you start getting it down, maybe to single digits, and then maybe a couple streaky threes. But
off the mark by Pollen. Blue Devils have a chance. Need to get Pelosi back into the game. Parker downtown, off the mark. Right into Pelosi's hand, blocked away by Kalinowski.
Salavanti, he's got a role on the team, and he does it well. There's hustle, Horns hustling around. But you got to like that, but you got to have your guy, Pelosi Gurkowski, on.
They're going to counter Tanner in the paint using his quickness. Hooping the horn.
Well, you remember Connor Calais from Holy Cross, undersized but uses body so well. You see that out of Noah Tanner. Again, about 5'7", maybe 5'8", but he just creates some space between him and some other people, and then able to finish.
So Tanner will go to the line to complete the three-point play, and he does not. So he has 7 on the evening for Noah Tanner, the junior.
There's a lot of recipes in Old Forge for some good food. Right now you need some recipe for some instant offense.
Old Forge has only scored 8 points since the half, John. They had 19 going into the break. They just cannot find the basket. Kalinowski to Tanner. Timeout on the floor, Old Forge. Nope, we're going to have a injured player.
Got blood.
Kalinowski has some blood. Tanner with another quick 2. He does around the mouth. Mike Abda will sub for him, and the trainer will take him into the locker room to check him out. And it will be Old Forge ball. So the big third quarter from Mid-Valley has gotten them this big lead. Now they're just trying to hold on for win number 12 on the season. All kinds of move by Gurchowski.
Yeah.
Horn finds the range. Jared Horn, who knew? Good basketball player, his first 3 of the season.
You're seeing the hustle out of Horn and Salavanti. That's great, but other guys got to finish shots, and it's been a little tough. You know, been the streaky part for Old Forge tonight. Gurkowski's done a few things. Pelosi's done some stuff, but, you know, some other guys that have come off the bench and tried to take shots, it's been a lot of iron. So, you know, you need those 4 or 6 points out of some of those guys to help when you're playing such a quality opponent right now as the Spartans.
Blue Devils going into the man-to-man trap. Breaking that is Pollen, his first 2, a 6'1" junior. I think if you're Old Forge, you want to try to take it to the basket as much as you can, try to get fouled. No foul, but Salavanti did miss it.
I think Pelosi's one of those guys that's got to take it to the rack more, right now for them. Salavanti, again, he'll give it his best shot, almost pulled that off, but that's not his role.
It's an opportunity for the Blue Devils now on the travel call. Up next for the Spartans will be Lakeland Friday night. Mondo shot off the mark.
Well, they're going to go man-to-man and try to create something here, Old Forge.
Chris Foley on the charge, picks up foul number 4.
Salavanti's just a smart player, Bob. I mean, it's just like he did in football. He knows where to be. He kind of knows what to do, and he just really has done a real nice job as Chris Foley's. He's played some nice basketball tonight for Mid-Valley.
So Roman Crisafulli will take a seat.
Got an 18-point lead. I mean, it's a lot with 4 minutes to go.
Sits with 12 points on the evening. Right around his average. Wachowski now trying to go against Goldsberry, and he can't get it to go. So Old Forge is missing easy opportunities at this point.
It's a lot on Grachowski's shoulders. He's the only big guy they have. He keeps getting the ball in the post, and he's running out of moves as to what to do to finish. I think Pelosi's got to take his guy off the dribble here.
Horn muscling inside, blocked away by Kalinowski. Tanner straight in. Oh, he's banged by Salavanti. Of course, the fans don't like that. We'll make sure Tanner's all right. Took one in the face, it looked like, John. Mike Abda worried. They say he's okay. Here's the again, John.
I went for the swipe.
Tanner going to the line to shoot 2. Tanner's first one is no good. So Tanner trying to add to his total tonight. Gets the second one to go. Wachowski down low is good. He muscles in. Tanner, Gouldsberry, in. Tanner just having a complete game, John, this season.
Yeah, it's his time. He's a junior now, stepping up. Wachowski trying to keep it alive. Pelosi battling underneath for them.
Gouldsberry thought about it. 1 for 2 on threes, and finally held back with a big 19-point lead. Jared Yanello has some of the younger players at the bench ready to come in. We're awaiting our media timeout. So there is a timeout on the floor. 2:27 remaining in the game. Looks like the Spartans are headed for win number 12 on the season against Old Forge. Forge looking to try to stay in this one. A little foul against Tanner as we have some mass substitutions now by the Blue Devils.
Mike Abda, you know, at the 2:19 mark, up what they're up. Something you got to do, recognize your guys and put in a great effort, get them over to the side here and get these other guys some action, as Old Forge has done that now as well.
$12 for Noah Tanner. Galinsky takes a seat, Kalinowski takes a seat, and Goolsbury takes a seat. Roman Crisafulli ended his night with 4 fouls with 12, and he remains on the bench. And now Noah Tanner will go out to a big hand. He ends his night with 13 points. So Mid-Valley, John, going to be very tough to beat in this division.
Yeah, they've shown it, you know, in the league so far that right now nobody has their number, even though they know every night they're going to get everybody's best. Just right now, the Spartans playing heads above everybody.
They have Lakeland coming up, and then Holy Cross, which is typically their rival. Davies with the ball. Out to Pollen. Urso in the game as well, and Colin Shearer. So Old Forge, John, got the fouls they needed, but they couldn't take advantage at the free throw line. They also couldn't take advantage getting to the line, and they had their opportunity going into the fourth quarter.
I mean, they got streaky in that second quarter, and, you know, and then after that, it was Mid-Valley just dominating in the third.
So there's what Old Forge has coming up. Holy Cross and Riverside going to be tough. Non-division against Trail, and that will round out January. And Mid-Valley's looks like this. Lakeland, Carbondale, Holy Cross, their first meeting. Riverside's going to be very tough, and as they go into February, you'll go back to Old Forge and Holy Cross as well.
Yeah, there was a challenging stretch there towards the end of the month.
If we have a chance to look at the District 2 Class A standings, you would think Old Forge, you know, has the advantage coming in easily over Forest City, MMI, and those type of teams. They've already beaten MMI this year. Coming up next, we'll have Georgia Tech and Notre Dame. That tip set for right around 9 o'clock, so we'll be right on time for that. Our next game will be a week from today, and it will be women's college basketball. East Stroudsburg University taking on the women from Lock Haven. Both of those teams in action on Wednesday night. Under 30 to play here at Mid-Valley. Old Forge gets a point.
Nice job from Welsh, throwing up the left-hander.
Also coming up, we have Coaches versus Cancer starting January 25th. Suits and Sneakers Week, John. We'll have 2 games that week. That's always a special time of year.
Yeah, they've done a nice job once again this year. Exceeded $1 million raised.
And that will do it. Mid-Valley picks up win number 12 on the season. They go to 12-0. Best start in school history Blue Devils will fall to 6-5 overall. And they're still in the thick of things, though, in District 2 Class A. Final score, 55-34. John will be on the floor with our players of the game and Mike Abdo when we come back.
This is a Fox 56 sports presentation on MyTV WQMY.
So a big 21-8 third quarter propels Mid-Valley to their 12th win of the year. And John Madola is on the floor with our Northwoods Nissan's players of the game. John?
Thanks, Bob. Well, Noah Turner. And, Noah, for you, a big game tonight. Talk about this team. Guys going to 12-0 is a great accomplishment.
All summer we work hard, so it's finally like accomplishing, like soothing that we can finally get all these wins after working so hard every night.
Different guys stepping up at different times. You ability to drive to the basket and dish the ball to other guys. You like to get everybody involved.
Yeah, it's what I like to do most. If I'm not scoring, I try to score, and if not, I would just dish it out, get everybody some buckets.
This guy next to you got a hot hand tonight. Talk about what he was able to do.
We feed the hot hand. He was doing good, so we just tried to keep getting him the ball. He was making his shots and knocking them down.
All right, congratulations.
Thank you very much.
All right, let's welcome in Brad Kalinowski. Brad, for you, talk about that third quarter where you just started shooting and things were going your way.
Well, we started off slow, and in the first half, I mean, they were catching up to us. They were playing solid, so I knew I had to come out and be a spark and show our team my experience and let it carry over, and it helped us get a big lead.
Getting that streak going and feeling you look more confident as the game went on. Talk about that scoring ability for you, because that's only going to help this team as time goes on here.
Well, I've been working a lot with my coaches on my shot, and I mean, I've been feeling great about it. And my confidence is definitely up there, and they told me to just keep shooting. And my team was doing a great job of getting me the ball, and I was hitting the open shot.
What's it like to have a guy like Roman Crisafulli underneath? I mean, he works awfully hard.
Yeah, it's great. He gets all our rebounds. I mean, we have hard workers all over the place, and he's always there to clean it up when we miss our shots.
All right, Brad, congratulations.
Thank you.
All right, let's find Mike Abda here from Mid-Valley, Spartan coach. Coach, congratulations. You guys go to 12-0. Nice effort from your team tonight against Old Forge. Hey, they were there in the second quarter. I'm sure you had a nice talk there, though, at halftime.
Oh, yeah. Old Forge is a good team. Pelosi and Grakowski are as good a players as you'll find, and, that's a tough team, tough community, well coached. So we expected to be in a battle. I thought we had a decent first quarter and then a great second half. We had one bad quarter where, we fixed some things at halftime, made some adjustments. Kids came out and played well.
Roman Crisafulli brings that lunch pail to work every day in practice and in the game. You see he's always working, whether it's defensively or offensively.
Yeah, Roman's a worker. He's put a lot of time into the offseason, getting himself stronger and faster. He really wanted it this year. He waited a long time. He did it the old-fashioned way, moved up as a ninth grader, played JV. Now it's his time, and, he's earned it. So.
You guys have met every challenge, but the league's still tough. As much as you guys keep winning, any given night down this stretch, it's going to be tough.
The league's brutal. That's the message to the kids every single day. There are no off nights. We say all the time, there's 6 league opponents. We got to play them twice, and every day we're just trying to get another piece of the puzzle, out of those 12 wins. And every game is just as important as the other one. Some are a little harder to get than others, but it doesn't matter. They're all worth the same. And a credit to the kids. They take every game very seriously. And, we respect every opponent. We know how tough this league is. And it's a credit to the players all around the league and the coaches and the communities. And, we know what we're up against. So we don't take anybody lightly, and we're, get back to work tomorrow.
Well, Mike, congratulations on this win. And this guy's figured out a lot of puzzles over the years. Bobby's done a tremendous job with this program.
That's right, John. 110 wins. Mike Abda in his 6th season. It looks like he's got his Spartans rolling again now towards another District 2 AA championship. So what do we have on tap? Well, we have Georgia Tech and Notre Dame college basketball coming up right here on WQMY next. But for our local schedule, it's some college basketball next week. Then we have the Coaches versus Cancers game. We're going to have a girls game in the Wyoming Valley, Northwest and Holy Redeemer. Holy Redeemer, again, ranked in the top 10 of Class AA girls. Then Elk Lake, we talked about them is in District 2. They'll be paired up against Forest City. They do a great job with Coaches versus Cancer up there. Over 2 years, they've raised $32,000 up in Elk Lake. And then more college basketball for you as we head into February, as the Luzerne County Community College taking on Harrisburg Community College, a women's and men's doubleheader. So, John, we talked about a lot about Mid-Valley, of course, 12-0 right there for a district title. But Old Forge there, 6-5 overall, not unexpected. But again, they've won 3 in a row for the District 2 Class A, and they look like they are the class of that division, Class A, this year.
Well, for Old Forge, they got a couple of football guys who just happen to play basketball. You know, Salavanti, who's a tough kid, and you know Salavanti's not a kid who's going to go try hurt somebody, but he's going to play hard. Jared Horn got a lot of energy for them off the bench. Pelosi's a basketball junkie. Gruchowski's a kid that can play. You know, they'll get better as the season goes on. Hey, a long football season for a couple of these guys. They'll be okay, I think, in Single A.
A big thank you to the Mid-Valley Spartan School District, Pat Sheehan, the superintendent, for allowing us here and to witness his great team on the floor here in Mid-Valley. Thank all the maintenance people as well for helping us this afternoon, and the IT people helping us with transmission. So for the entire Fox 56 Sports crew, for John Mendola, this is Bob Ide saying so long now from Mid-Valley.
This is a Fox 56 sports presentation on MyTV WQMY.